Hello, welcome back to Planet 40k. We're on day 3 of our countdown to Christmas, so it's the 3rd of December. And we've got another one of our videos where we're going to compare one of our Necron units to one of the Space Marine units, something similar in stature, and today we're going to be going with the Triarch Stalker versus the Venerable Dreadnought. So it's a basic concept, what would you pick? We're going to go through some key topics, we're going to compare and contrast, and overall we're going to get a winner. Now so far, if you've been following this series right from the 1st of December, we have been keeping tally of what team has what. So if you want to go back to the very first one on the 1st of December, check that one out first, of course, then the 2nd and the 3rd and whatnot. But as of right now, Team Necrons are winning 2-0 against the Space Marines. So let's get on with today's comparison, which is the Triarch Stalker and the Venerable Dreadnought. So they're both coming at 135 points at base cost. There will of course be upgrade options, but at base cost they're the same, and they got the same type of battlefield role, both being an elite option. Let's start the video with comparing their stat line. So the Stalker is much quicker, well you'd expect that with the amount of legs it's got. However, the weapon skill and ballistic skill is not as good as the Dreadnought's. It does have a better strength, although the Dreadnought's strength does get doubled with the weapons, as you'll see in a bit. The toughness is also better on the Dreadnought, but the Triarch Stalker has 12 wounds as opposed to 8, so he's got a little bit of a point there. Less attacks and the same sort of armor save. But overall, I would definitely go with the Venerable Dreadnought in terms of winning the stat line comparison. Hitting on 2s is pretty decent, and having that toughness 7 on top of that is also going to be a good factor when shielding off a lot of attacks. So that's the first point, going to the Venerable Dreadnought. Now as for the abilities, the Venerable Dreadnought of course has Angels of Death, she's got the combat doctrines, the Bolt of Discipline isn't going to do anything. Shock Assault as well is actually quite important for the extra attack in the first round of the fight, and then Duty Eternal as well, so it's a -1 to damage, which kind of makes up for the amount of wounds it's got with only 8 wounds as opposed to the Triarch Stalker's 12 wounds. And then it's also got a 6+ Feel No Pain save on top of that with the Unyielding Ancient ability. However, for me the Triarch Stalker wins this one. Living Metals get a wound back every turn, Command Protocols, which is a little bit iffy. I'm not going to really say that's the strongest positive note here, but the Quantum Shielding for the 5+ Invulnerable save is massive, and you can't wound it on less than a 4+, which is also just as massive. It's got the Targeting Relay as well, which allows any Necron model to be able to reroll 1s if it's originally been targeted by the Triarch Stalker. So when you combine all those abilities together, I think the Triarch Stalker ability wise wins that point. On to the actual damage output, starting with the ranged attacks. Now the Triarch Stalker has got options, he's got 3 in fact in terms of range capabilities. The Heat Ray is pretty decent, which is effectively like a heavy flamer, as well as a melter combined in one, or the Particle Shredder, which is 8 shots at strength 6, -1 AP 2 damage, which is pretty decent, and the Twin Heavy Gorse Cannon as well for 6 strength 7 shots, -3 AP damage D3. But you got to remember the Targeting Relay ability that he originally had. It means he needs to be hitting with his ranged attack, so that Heat Ray may not always be able to fire at 24-inch range maximum, same as the Particle Shredder. So I'd always go with the Twin Heavy Gorse Cannon if I was to take one. However, when you're looking at the Venerable Dreadnought set of options, it comes stock with the Assault Cannon, heavy 6, strength 6, -1 AP 1 damage, but he's got a lot of options. He's got the Dreadnought weapons option, so he's got the Heavy Plasma Cannon, the Multi-Melter, the Twin Las Cannon, and potentially the Hellfrost Cannon if you're playing Space Wolves. And then he can also take a Missile Launcher and another Heavy Flamer on top of that. So for me, those options are much more flexible, much more versatile, and I'd go with the Dreadnought in this occasion. Now as for the melee side of things, the Triarch Stalker has the 4 limbs, which I think are a bit underwhelming. They're only strength user, which means they're only strength 7. Now strength 7 isn't the worst thing, but we're talking about an elite Dreadnought type of model here with the Triarch Stalker. You should have a ×2 or at least strength 10 or something. It's only strength 7, -2 AP 3 damage, whereas the Dreadnought's combat weapon is strength ×2, which goes up to strength 12. It's -3 AP and the damage is 3, so it's got a better strength and a better AP on top of that as well. So it's an easy victory there for the Venerable Dreadnought. Now in terms of resiliency, this one I'm going to give it to both of the options here. Triarch Stalker with a Quantum Shielding, and it's a minimum of 4 to wound it, with a 3+ armor save and the 12 wounds on top of that. And the Venerable Dreadnought, toughness 7, only 8 wounds, but it's got Duty Eternal, which is massive. You're going to be subtracting 1 from all damage taken, 6+ Feel No Pain save, and a 3+ armor save. For me, these two are very on par with one another. You could probably tip it to the Triarch Stalker potentially, but I'm going to go with both of them on this occasion. And then the final topic here is the threats. Are you afraid of the Triarch Stalker, or are you afraid of a Venerable Dreadnought? Which one are you afraid of? And for me, it's the Venerable Dreadnought. I'm not afraid at all of a Triarch Stalker. If I see my opponent with a Triarch Stalker, I'm not even bothered by it. Like we've already mentioned, in melee it's strength 7, and the range capabilities are not too bad, but when you're talking about one of these elite kind of vehicle models, you expect a bit more. Whereas the Venerable Dreadnought coming in with a strength 12 Dreadnought combat weapon, or the las cannons on top of that, is definitely much more of a threat. So overall, when I'm scoring this, I've gone with 5 points to 2 in favour of the Venerable Dreadnought. So that's the winner today. The Triarch Stalker didn't really have a chance, to be honest. It's not one of our most commonly used units anymore. more. But in terms of the actual scores, that brings the score 2-1, still in favour of Team Necrons, but the Marines are pulling it back, and we're only on day 3. There's still a long way to go. So guys, that's the video today. We're going to be back tomorrow with the 4th day of our countdown to Christmas, where we've got another unit comparison from the Necrons and the Space Marines. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.